Hey guys, Ryan Dement from Chasing Happiness Podcast. I hope you guys are having a great day. This week on the podcast, we have Nancy Abramson, and Nancy is a small business coach, but she has so much more in there to provide and help. One of the biggest things that us entrepreneurs, and I say us, we, however you want to say it, we struggle with time and making sure that we can scale our business when we step back. And that's where Nancy comes in. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here today.
You're more than welcome. So could you tell the listeners a little bit about who you are?
Absolutely. So, short story, I spent more years than I'd like to admit because then you're going to know how old I am working in the my friends laugh. I'm always in denial. I never really know how old I am. So, in public account- in and in Boston and then in Manhattan, going back home to working insane hours, public accounting, then corporate accounting, and doing what I was expected to do. I thought that's the way life was. I was the poster child for you've got to get good grades in school to get into a good college, so you can get a good job, so you can work really hard and then have your good life later. Living for vacations and when life was going to get easier sometime later, which we're not always guaranteed. And fast forward, I was the CFO of a company. They brought me in to clean up the house and they went to market and we were sold for millions of dollars. That was the goal. We were successful in that. And I was burnt out and fried afterwards. And ended up starting a business, doing something I loved with total freedom over my calendar. And I was loving life. And I want everybody to have that as well, so that you don't have to kill yourself working crazy hours and not enjoying your life now because we're not guaranteed a sometime later. This is it.
You get one shot at this, and that is correct. And we all need to take advantage of that. So let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about your corporate life. So you live to manage your calendar and work for your boss or whoever you're working for. Did that spill over to your personal life to where you'd go home and work too?
For a big chunk of it, I lived 2 blocks away from my office. So I
Oh
was just,
boy.
yeah. So I was just in my office. And then even when I was not 2 blocks away, it was pretty common that I would just be sitting in my desk until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I could be looking down a dark hallway and be the only one there or there with my staff. And I was good at what I did, but it just burnt me out. And I thought that this is the way it's supposed to be. Like everybody in New York works crazy hours. Like everybody in corporate works a lot of hours. So I thought that's the way it was supposed to be. And I was I was comfortable. I didn't mind it. I minded it, but I didn't think I had any options. I didn't think there was anything I could do about it.
And it's amazing that we're taught this in corporate America and how we're supposed to do things. Because at the end of the day, I live to manage my calendar too. And I don't know if we had a pre-call a while ago, but I had to ask permission to go to use the restroom at times because I was double and triple booked on meetings all day. I'd get in about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I would go till 6 or 7 o'clock at night with meetings, and it just didn't stop. And then I had to do my normal job in between. And corporate America never taught us how to fish. It taught us to be fed every other week or however often you got paid, but it never taught you actually how to fish. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs, when they transfer or they move out from corporate America or W-2 job, wherever you want to call it, to being an entrepreneur, it's a struggle because you have to fish immediately or you don't eat.
Right. And I
It,
think a lot of the entrepreneurs really struggle, especially if they don't have a mentor, if they don't have somebody guiding them, because there's not a good harmony. You see so many that have really successful businesses and the businesses are growing, but they're after dinner with the family going back to the office and working on vacations and they're just churning, but their business is going great. And then you have these other entrepreneurs who have a great social life and they have this great freedom, but their business is chugging. So many don't realize that there's another option. There's the option C of having a business that's growing and thriving and also having some freedom with your time so that you can enjoy your life. And that's my passion. That's
And
my
not be married and then not be married to the business. I love it. So let's dive into it. Let's dig into it. So tell the listeners a little bit about what you do and let's start talking about it. Let's see what can come out of it.
absolutely. Since we're talking about the time aspect, I have my 3 P's of planning that I would like to share. So, first P,
Okay.
power. Exercise your power to say no to distractions and things that don't move you towards your goal. Prioritize, plan the work and work the plan according to what's most important to you. And then profits, actually plan for profits. So if we start off at the top, the power to say no, it's nice and easy to say, just say no. But you can't always just say no to your boss or to family because if you just say no, then you're going to have to fight. So my suggestion
Yes.
and my recommendation are, and I will say that when I was in corporate, I broke a disc in my neck and I was out of work for 6 weeks after my surgery. And what I learned when I came back after 6 weeks away, all of those critical tasks that absolutely had to be done immediately were all there waiting for me when I came back.